Um, this was what IMBD thought were the bottom of the 2010 TV shows. The top 10 JV TV shows, according to us, are number 10, The Goldbergs, number 9, Supergirl, number 8, The Orville, number 7, Dear to Me, number 6, Lucifer, number 5, The Umbrella Academy, number 4, Ozark, number 3, Sense8, and number 2, Power, and number 1, How to Get Away with Murder. If you haven't watched any of these shows, give them a try. A lot of shows are bangers. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Masty Bitch Presents Rankings. Sorry, wrong. Welcome to Masty Bitter Presents Bracket Reviews. My name is Diandre Robinson, and I'm here again with just me. So I hope you like hearing my voice, because you'll be hearing it for this episode. So today we're going to talk about the JV TV shows that we got Twitter to do a bracket for. What happened was I took the top 204 TV shows from the 2010s, and I took the bottom top 208 TV shows from the 2010s, and I took the bottom 104, made them JV, took the top 104 and made them varsity. Let's talk about varsity next time you hear my voice on the next episode, but this is a JV. This was what IMBD thought were the bottom of the 2010 TV shows. So before we get into the bracket, I do want to say our top 10 of this JV 2010 TV shows. And this comes from myself, my wife, Josh, CJ, and Amanda. So the top 10 JV TV shows, according to us, are number 10, The Goldbergs, number 9, Supergirl, number 8, The Orville, number 7, Dear to Me, number 6, Lucifer, number 5, The Umbrella Academy, 4, Ozark, number 3, Sense8, and number 2, Power, and number 1, How to Get Away with Murder. If you haven't watched any of these shows, give them a try. A lot of shows are bangers. So, getting on with the bracket, how this goes is the highest seed will always play the low seed. There'll be a bye in the fourth quarterfinals. There'll be a 1v1 in the third round, and started in the quarterfinals, there will be all 1v1s. Now I say that because all the rest of the matchups are groupings of 4. The top 2 most voted on TV shows will go on to the next rounds. And then as just me, so I will be picking the third place game all by myself. Okay, so that being said, let's get on with the first round. The play-in for the first round is Marco Polo 2014, and the year I'm saying is the year that was premiered. Just want to make sure everybody knows as well. So Marco Polo 2014, Station 19 2018, Punisher 2017, ACS New Orleans 2014. What I'm going to do is each matchup, I'm going to say what I think should have won. At least one of them I think should have moved on. And then I'm actually going to give what 2 moved on. Okay. So, like I said, Marco Polo, Station 19, The Punisher, and ACS New Orleans, all play-ins. However, out of 4, I went with The Punisher. And it did come in first place with 55% of the votes. ACS New Orleans came in second with 28% of the votes. They both move on. Getting into the bracket. Number 1, Rizzoli and Niles, 2010. Number 2, Tacoma FD, 2019. Number 99, The Morning Show, 2019. On number 100, The Grand Tour, 2016. Personally, I went with The Morning Show, and it did come in first place with 30% of the votes. Rizzoli and Owls came in second with 33% of the votes. Next grouping is number 3, The Righteous Gemstones, 2019. Number 4, How to Deal with Murder, 2014. Number 97, Under the Dome, 2013. Or number 98, The Thundermans, 2013. Personally, I won't know about How to Get Away with Murder. It's an amazing show, but it came in last place. I love the voters. I do. If you want to vote on these matchups, you can go to at debaters, DEBETRETERS _mass, MASS. So at DEB _MASS. And I love the voters, but How to Get Away with Murder should be out in the first round. That's horrible. But it's out in the first round. First place was The Righteous Gemstone. And I want to make sure I say this right now. Righteous Gemstone was not fun to me. I gave the first season a chance. Oh my God, it was just bad to me. So it is what it is. It came in first place with 33% of the votes. Under the Dome came in second with 25% of the votes. Next grouping is number 5, Supergirl, 2015. Number 6, Long Mirror, 2012. Number 95, SWAT, 2017. Or number 96, The Killing, 2011. Personally, I will go with Supergirl, and it did come in second place with 27% of the votes. Long Mirror came in first with 29% of the votes. Next grouping is number 7, Parenthood, 2010. Number 8, Dead to Me, 2019. Number 93, Revenge, 2011. Or number 94, A Million Little Things, 2018. Now, if you asked me this about 2 months ago, I would have probably picked Dead to Me for my wife. I would have. However, though, I'm watching Little Things now, and that is a fantastic show. I mean, such a good show. So much emotion in that show. Like, you want to cry almost every episode. You root for people. Oh my God, it's such a good show. So I'm going to pick A Million Little Things. And if you haven't watched Million Little Things, it's on Hulu right now if you have Hulu. However, though, people don't share the same thing with me because it did come in last place with 10% of the votes. Parenthood came in first with 42% of the votes, and Dead to Me came in second with 30% of the votes. Next grouping is number 9, Lucifer, 2016. Number 10, SEAL Team, 2017. Number 91, Henry Danger, 2014. 92, The Good Doctor, 2017. I watched Lucifer for the first time this year as well. Fantastic show, really good show. I am going to go with Lucifer here. And it did come in first place with 33% of the votes. The Good Doctor came in second with 92% of the votes. Number 11 was Billions, 2016. Number 12 was Terror, 2018. Number 89 was Hawaii Five-0, 2010. Number 90, MacGyver, 2016. 2 shows that, just were remakes of the 80s shows. If I had to pick one, these 4, I would go with Billions. And it did come in second with 32% of the votes. Hawaii Five-0 came in first with 34% of the votes. Next grouping is number 13, Luke Cage, 2016. Number 14, Feud, 2017. Number 87, Designated Survivor, 2016. And number 88, The Ranch, 2016. This was hard for me between The Ranch and Luke Cage. However, though, if I had to pick, I'm going with Luke Cage. And Luke Cage did come in second with 37% of the votes. Designated Survivor came in first with 42%. Next grouping is number 15, Star Trek Discovery, 2017. Number 16, The Umbrella Academy, 2019. Number 85, Everything Sucks, 2018. Number 86, Ballers, 2015. If I had to choose one of those shows, it would be Everything Sucks. Oh, Everything Sucks is a TV show from Netflix. It only has 1 season. However, though, it was so goddamn good. To me, one of the best 1-season shows of all time. I'm super upset that it did not get extra seasons. It should have got extra seasons. I'm going to go Everything Sucks. However, though, it did come in last place. First place was Ballers, 34% of the votes. Second place was The Umbrella Academy with 27% of the votes. Next grouping is number 17, Arrow, 2012. Number 18, Love, Death, and Robots, 2019. Number 83, The Neighborhood, 2018. Or number 84, Ray Donovan, 2013. Personally, I will go with Arrow. I'm a big DC nerd. Gotta go Arrow. It started that DCCW like groupings of shows. So I'll go Arrow. And it did come in second with 31% of the votes. Ray Donovan came in first with 44% of the votes. Next grouping is number 19, Mom, 2013. Number 20, Rain, 2013. Number 81, The Rookie, 2018. Number 82, Manifest, 2018. I would go with Mom. It's not a bad show. Can be funny at times. So I'm going with Mom. And it did come in second place with 26% of the votes. The Rookie came in first with 53% of the votes. Next grouping is number 21, Good Girls, 2018. Number 22, Mayans MC, 2018. Number 79, Fear the Walking Dead, 2015. Or number 80, The Girlfriend Experience, 2016. I would personally go with Mayans MC, and it did come in first place with 39% of the votes. Fear the Walking Dead came in second with 31% of the votes. Next grouping is number 23, The Affair, 2014. Number 24, Sense8, 2015. Number 77, The Goldbergs, 2013. Or number 78, Queen of the South, 2016. Okay, so I would have went with Sense8. Sense8 is another, to me, and a lot of people hate when I say this, but to me, Sense8 is the best Netflix show of all time. I think so, personally. I'm going to get a lot of backlash for that. I understand that. But I think that Sense8 is the best Netflix show of all time. It is what it is. But this grouping, Goldbergs came in first with 60% of the votes. But then we have our first Friday vote. Our Friday vote is vote between tiebreaker vote between two things in the grouping. That's in second place. So the tie was between The Affair and Sense8. And what we do with tiebreakers is we ask the I Did Not Make These Rankings Podcast Network to vote. And the overall vote went to Sense8. So Sense8 moved on with 14.5% of the votes. Next grouping is number 25, Goliath, 2016. Number 26, Miraculous, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, 2015. Number 75, Chicago Med, 2015. And number 76, Altered Carbon, 2018. I would personally with Altered Carbon. And it did come in second place with 18% of the votes. Chicago Med came in first with 59% of the votes. Next grouping is number 27, Good Omens, 2019. Number 28, Homeland, 2011. Number 73, Young Sheldon, 2017. And number 74, Why Women Kill, 2019. If I had to pick any one of these, I'll pick Young Sheldon. But Homeland came in first with 35% of the votes. Young Sheldon and Good Omens were a Friday vote, so it was a tie. The TV show that moves on by IMD, by I Did Not Make This Ranking Podcast Network draft, is Young Sheldon with 29.5% of the votes. Next grouping is The Last Man on Earth, number 29. That came out in 2015. Number 30, Impractical Jokers, 2011. Number 71, American Gods, 2017. And number 72, Disease, 2018. Personally, I will go with Impractical Jokers. Impractical Jokers did win by 44% of the votes. The Last Man on Earth came in second with 37% of the votes. Next grouping is number 31, Yellowstone, 2018. Number 32, The Originals, 2013. 69, House of Cards, 2013. 70, Gotham, 2014. Personally, I don't go with Gotham. However, though it did come in third place. Yellowstone came in first with 40% of the votes, and House of Cards came in second with 31% of the votes. Next grouping is number 33, The Man in the High Castle, 2015. Number 34, His Dark Materials, 2019. Number 67, The Orville, 2017. And number 68, Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. That's truth. I haven't watched any of these shows to pick. I don't know nothing about any of these shows, so I'm not going to pick one. However, the Tom Clancy Jack Ryan did come in first with 46% of the votes. The Man in the High Castle came in second with 27% of the votes. Next grouping is number 35, The OA 2016. Number 36, American Crime Story 2016. Number 65, Good Behavior 2016. Or number 66, American Horror Story 2011. I will go with American Horror Story, and it did win by 67% of the votes. American Crime Story came in second with 17% of the votes. Next grouping is number 37, Girl Meets World 2014. Number 38, Miracle Workers 2019. Number 63, Sherlock 2010. Or number 64, Once Upon a Time 2011. This is a hard one because it's either Once Upon a Time or Miracle Workers. I'll probably go with Miracle Workers. So I've seen more of that. So it came in last place. Once Upon a Time came in second with 29% of the votes. Sherlock came in first with 43% of the votes. Next grouping is number 39, Empire, 2015. Number 40, The Handmaid's Tale, 2017. Number 61, Madam Secretary, 2014. Number 62, True Detective, 2014. I would personally have one with Empire. However, it was tied for last place. First place was True Detective with 53% of the votes. Second place was The Handmaid's Tale with 18% of the votes. Next grouping is number 41, Jessica Jones, 2015. Number 42, Dynasty, 2017. Number 59, Westworld, 2016. Or number 60, Victorious, 2010. Personally, I would have went with Jessica Jones. And Jessica Jones did win by 40% of the votes. Westworld came in second with 28% of the votes. Next grouping is number 43, Shameless, 2011. Number 44, Ozark, 2017. Number 57, The Walking Dead, 2010. Number 58, Has Been Hotel, 2019. I would have personally went with Shameless. And it did come in second place with 34% of the votes. Ozark came in first with 36% of the votes. Next grouping is The Virgin River, 2019. Number 46, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, 2018. Number 55, The Witcher, 2019. Or number 56, Killing Eve, 2018. I personally would have went with The Witcher. And it did come in second place with 30% of the votes. Killing Eve came in first with 35% of the votes. Next grouping is number 47, 911, 2018. Number 48, Pretty Little Liars. Number 53, The Amazing World of Gumball, 2011. Or number 54, Blue Bloods, 2010. Personally, I would have went with 911. However, the Blue Bloods won by 40% of the votes, and 911 and Pretty Little Liars was on a Friday vote. 911 wins by 20.5% of the votes. And last but not least in this round, number 49, Teen Wolf, 2011. Number 50, Riverdale, 2017. Number 51, Black Sails, 2014. Number 52, Power, 2014. I personally went with Power. Power, though, did come in last place. Teen Wolf came in second with 28% of the votes, and Riverdale came in first with 43% of the votes. So that's the end of the first round. If you didn't hear your like favorite TV shows, remember it's just JV. You have a hold of a bracket for varsity coming soon. And God is truth, if your favorite show is on this, then IBD don't think it's a good show anyway. So, or not one of the best shows. So at least the show will be in varsity. So with one of the best shows. All right. So we're on round two. We have The Punisher, Rosie Niles, NCIS, New Orleans, and the Righteous Gemstones. Out of the four, I will vote The Punisher. And it did come in second place with 34% of the votes. The Righteous Gemstone, again, The Righteous Gemstones came in first place with 44% of the votes. I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't get why people like the show, like whatsoever, at all. But it did move on. Next grouping is The Morning Show, Supergirl, Under the Dome, and Longmire. Personally, for me, I will go with Supergirl. And it did come in second place with 23% of the votes. Longmire came in first with 34% of the votes. Next grouping is The Good Doctor, Parenthood, Hawaii Five-0, and Dead to Me. Personally, out of the four, I would have picked Dead to Me for my wife. I know she loved that show. But it did come in last place with 16% of the votes. Parenthood came in second with 26% of the votes. Hawaii Five-0 came in first with 38% of the votes. Next grouping is Designated Survivor, Lucifer, Ballers, and Billions. Out of the four, I probably would have picked Lucifer. However, though, it did come in last place with 14% of the votes. Top two that moves on was Designated Survivor and Ballers, both coming in with 31%. Next groupings are Ray Donovan, Luke Cage, The Rookie, and The Umbrella Academy. Out of the four, I probably would have picked The Umbrella Academy. However, again, it came in last place. The two that move on was Ray Donovan with 32% of the votes and Luke Cage with 27% of the votes. Next grouping is Fear the Walking Dead, Arrow, The Goldbergs, and Mom. I would have picked Arrow, and Arrow did come in second with 25% of the votes. The Goldbergs came in first with 45% of the votes. Okay, so we're on. Next grouping is Arthur Corbin, Mayans MC, Chicago Med, and Sense8. Like I said, I think Sense8 is the best Netflix show of all time. I will go with Sense8. However, though, it did come in third place with 17% of the votes. Mayans MC came in first with 41% of the votes. Chicago Med came in second with 30% of the votes. Next grouping is Young Sheldon, Homeland, House of Cards, and The Last Man on Earth. I would have went with House of Cards, and it did come in second with 28% of the votes. Young Sheldon came in first with 28% of the votes. Young Sheldon came in second with 26% of the votes. Next grouping is Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan and Practical Jokers, American Horror Story, and Yellowstone. I personally went with Practical Jokers. It did come in third place, though. American Horror Story came in second with 23% of the votes. Yellowstone came in first with 49% of the votes. Next is Once Upon a Time, The Man in a High Castle, Sherlock, and American Crime Story. Personally, I went with Once Upon a Time, and it did came in first place. It was tied for first place, actually, with Sherlock with 27% of the votes. Next grouping is True Detective, The Handmaid's Tale, Westworld, and Jessica Jones. Out of the four, I went with Jessica Jones, but it did come in last place. True Detective came in first with 59% of the votes. Westworld came in second with 15% of the votes. Next grouping is Killing Eve, Shameless, The Witcher, and Ozark. Out of the four, I went with Shameless, and Shameless did come in second with 29% of the votes. Ozark came in first with 49% of the votes. Next grouping and last grouping in this round is Blue Bloods, 911, Riverdale, and Teen Wolf. I put a person with 911, but was tied for last place. Blue Bloods came in first with 51% of the votes. Riverdale came in second with 23% of the votes. We're on round three. Okay. So we're on round three. There's a 1v1 at the end of this. And the highest seeded TV show will automatically get a bye into the quarterfinals. We have The Punisher, The Righteous Gemstones, Hawaii Five-0, and Supergirl. Personally, I would have went with Supergirl, actually, but it did come in last place with 14% of the votes. The Punisher came in first with 30% of the votes. Hawaii Five-0 came in second with 28% of the votes. Next grouping is Designated Survivor, Ballers, and Parenthood. Personally, I will go with Ballers, but it did come in first place with 34% of the votes. Designated Survivor came in second with 26% of the votes. Sorry. Next grouping is Ray Donovan, Luke Cage, The Goldbergs, and Arrow. Personally, I would go with Luke Cage, but it did come in last place. And kind of truth, I mean, if you see a pattern, a lot of black shows don't go far on these. I wish a lot more black people voted on my on my brackets, but it is what it is. A lot of black shows do not go far in these. It's sad, but it's true. So, but Luke Cage came in last place. The Goldbergs came in first with 39% of the votes. Ray Donovan came in second with 27% of the votes. Next grouping is Chicago Med, Mayans MC, Young Sheldon, and Yellowstone. Out of the four, I would have picked Young Sheldon, and it did come in second with 26% of the votes. Yellowstone came in first with 59% of the votes. Next grouping is House of Cards, Shameless, American Horror Story, and Ozark. Out of the four, I probably would have with Shameless, but it did tie for last place. The second was House of Cards with 21% of the votes. First was Ozark with 41% of the votes. Okay, next grouping is Once Upon a Time, Riverdale, Sherlock, and Blue Bloods. I would have picked Once Upon a Time, but it did come in last place with 17% of the votes. Sherlock came in second with 27% of the votes. Blue Bloods came in first with 33% of the votes. Then we had the 1v1, and it was a Friday vote. It was between True Detective and Westworld, and the group picked True Detective to move on. To number round 4, Yellowstone has an automatic bye into the quarterfinals. The lower part of this bracket will have an automatic bye into the final 4. So you have The Punisher, Ozark, Hawaii Five-0, and Blue Bloods. And I do want to say this is the last round of the grouping of 4. So we have, again, The Punisher, Ozark, Hawaii Five-0, and Blue Bloods. I would have went with The Punisher, but it did come in third place. Ozark came in first with 46% of the votes. Blue Bloods came in second with 21% of the votes. Is Designated Survivor, True Detective, Ballers, and Sherlock. I would have went with Ballers, but it did come in last place. True Detective came in first with 47% of the votes. Designated Survivor came in second with 22% of the votes. And the last grouping of 4 is Ray Donovan, House of Cards, The Goldbergs, and Young Sheldon. Out of the 4, I probably would have went with House of Cards, and it did come in first with 30% of the votes. The Goldbergs came in second with 27% of the votes, which means that True Detective will be the bye into the final 4. All right, so we are in the quarterfinals. Rest of these now will be 1v1s. We got Designated Survivor versus Yellowstone. I would probably pick Yellowstone, even though none of these are my cup of tea. Yellowstone did win by 65% of the votes. We got Ozark and the Goldbergs. I would pick Ozark in a heartbeat. Ozark won by 63% of the votes. Then we got Blue Bloods and House of Cards. And I would have went with House of Cards, and House of Cards did win by 64% of the votes. So now we're in the final 4. Okay. And the final 4 we have Yellowstone versus House of Cards. I would have went with House of Cards, but Yellowstone did move on by 65% of the votes. Then we got Ozark versus True Detective. I would have put on Ozark, and Ozark did win by 65% of the votes. So let's do the third place game first. We got House of Cards or True Detective. Personally, I will go House of Cards. So House of Cards will be the third place. True Detective will be 4th. But it's not about third. It's about the best. We got Yellowstone, number 31, Yellowstone, with number 44, Ozark. And the winner is Yellowstone by 55% of the votes. So we got Yellowstone number 1, Ozark number 2, House of Cards number 3, True Detective number 4. Well, that sure was interesting. Yeah, very, very interesting. I want to thank everybody for listening to me. Next time we'll be doing the varsity bracket. And like always, I'm going to give you who made the quarterfinals. The quarterfinal participants are Game of Thrones, Bluey, Rick and Morty, Better Call Saul, Boardwalk Empire, Peaky Blinders, and Stranger Things. All right. With that being said, my name is Diandre Robinson. Thank you for listening to me. If you ever want to come on to do one of these brackets, a private bracket, I will never say no. But you got to do a bracket that I already made, because even though I love doing these brackets, these are a bitch to make. With that being said, my name is Diandre Robinson, and we are out.